I think summertime, late summertime, August is the season when kids play tag. And perhaps it's because it's warm in the evening, it gets dark a little earlier, and it's got that right time to go and hide and then run for home base and see if you can get home free. And it's a wonderful reminder that just watching kids play tag of getting home safely. The talk today is home base, and home base is a story that comes up a lot. The story in the Bible of the prodigal son. The son asks dad for his portion of the inheritance so that he can go out and make his way in the world. And he leaves and he goes into a far land and he squanders the money and he encounters a famine and he winds up being imprisoned and life is going very much not well for him, and he finally makes his way back to freedom, and then he comes back home and he is welcomed at home base by the family with great cheering and celebration and feasting and so forth. And there's other parts of the story about his brother having an attitude because he didn't get the feast and stuff. But the idea that's important there is what it feels like to come home, to have that home base, to have that homecoming. It's also baseball season now, and baseball is a wonderful metaphor for the same story. You start out by leaving home, and you go out on your adventure, and you try to make your way safely through the adventure until you come back home. And if you get it home safely, then you score a point. So baseball is a reenactment of the story of the prodigal son. Don't tell your baseball friends that. The story keeps on repeating itself, though. There's a lot of different ways that home base, coming home, being home safely, going on an adventure, and then coming back in, happen. So our daughter Victoria moved away a month ago to Troy, New York. And it's a new adventure. She's doing something that she's never done before. She and her husband are off in a faraway land doing their thing with a new home and a new base of operations. And it is an opportunity for her to be in that adventure. Now, home, as far as I'm concerned, she's welcome here anytime she wants, but she's got her own home with her, and it's about setting up that operation there. So Dina and I got a chance to go for a visit this week and helped Tori and Alex even more thoroughly turn the place that they're living into their home. They had already done a spectacular job. They're making themselves at home. They're finding out what their anchor point is. They're finding the good restaurants, and that you can't get a cheesesteak in Troy, New York, that would be worthy of a cheesesteak for somebody who's had to spend any time in Philadelphia. And as we were there, we were visiting, and there's all of the stuff that goes into visiting about temporarily being in somebody else's base of operations and making their home feel like your home. And there are two phrases that come to mind. One is "be my guest." And that is so warm and welcoming. Be my guest. It's like, you are my guest. I am here as your host, and I'm going to take care of things, and I'm going to do everything that I can to make you feel comfortable. And that's wonderful and uplifting. And being a guest is a little bit lavish. And the other phrase is "make yourself at home." And it seems a little more operational. Make yourself at home. Like there's work for you to do. Okay? This is the place. You can do whatever it is that you need to do to make yourself at home. Make yourself at home actually is a lot more powerful as far as I'm concerned. That means I'm going to go hands off on trying to make your experience be what it is and give you all of the freedom and all of the potential to make your experience as great as it can possibly be. Make yourself at home. Mi casa su casa. My house is yours. It's not like you have to go through me to get to the goodies. I was talking to my cousin, Linda, yesterday, who I think is watching on the live stream today. And she has a business as a pet sitter. And I had known about pet sitting through her because she does that. And we had a pet sitter stay at our house while we were up there in Troy for the week. So now I have a new perspective on pet sitting. And that whole "be my guest, make yourself at home" thing came to mind again, because what Linda says, when she's pet sitting and she's staying at somebody's house, she's not just staying there with the pets, she's running the house. It is it is her client's home, but she needs to make sure that the home is running. So it's not just, does the dog go out when the dog needs to go out. It's like making sure that the garbage goes out when the garbage needs to go out, and that the lights are on or the lights are off, and everything is taken care of. So making yourself at home has the potential to require a little bit of additional effort from us, but it also gives us that richness that we can really relax and settle in. So the question is, what makes you feel at home? Because everybody has a home, and so your home base, your base of operations, it's where your stuff is. What makes it home for you? What gives you that sensation, that feeling of home? Is it that's where your stuff is? Amassing things throughout your life, and the closets and the nooks and crannies in the house where you keep your stuff and it's all familiar to you. Is that what makes it home? For a lot of folks, it's the people who are in the house or in the neighborhood. So, and that makes us portable in a lot of ways. I mean, you take your stuff and you take your people and you go someplace different. You're not going to take the people in the neighborhood necessarily with you. So is there something about the place itself, the space, or about the infrastructure, that you know where the supermarket is, that you have the doctor, that you can call the dentist, that there's a place where you can get the thing, that you can buy a cheesesteak that tastes like a cheesesteak? I mean, there are big things and little things. What makes you feel at home? And also, what makes you feel not at home? If you're feeling not at ease, if you're feeling like an outsider, like you don't belong, like you haven't hit your stride, what makes you feel not at home? Sometimes it's the newness or the unfamiliarity. When you get into a new situation, okay, I got to find some stuff. I need to get myself my bearings, understand where I am, to do the simple things. Where am I going to sleep? Where's my toothbrush? Where am I going to get some food? And then beyond that, what's the rest of the structure that's around me, so that I can become familiar with it and start feeling more at home, more comfortable in the place where I am. Are there challenges and surprises? Are there things that come along that you weren't particularly expecting and now suddenly you have to deal with? And some of it can be really simple. Like if you need a cheesesteak every week and suddenly there's no cheesesteaks available, that's a thing. One of the things in Troy, New York, is that there are a lot of houses with lead pipes. So now you suddenly need to pay attention to what's in the water that is when you turn on the tap. Now, a lot of people don't have to think about that, don't have to worry about that. But if the infrastructure includes something different, then it becomes something to consider that might be keeping you from feeling at home. And then there's the emotional, mental, and spiritual part of it, about feeling at home with yourself. Can we go to that still, quiet place, go within and let go of all of the distractions, all of the infrastructure, all of the stuff, the people, the neighborhood, all the rest of that, and just be within ourselves right here and right now and be at peace? What makes you feel at home or not at home with yourself? For a lot of people, it's doubt, self-criticism. Get quiet. Sometimes that committee starts talking about all the mistakes I've made and all the bad stuff that I've done and the wrong turns and then what could go wrong. Oh my goodness, if I'm not careful about this, I could have that other problem and the other one and the other one and the other one. A lot of folks, especially the younger folks, talk about imposter syndrome. Here I am in this position, in this place, with this opportunity, and why in the world am I qualified to do this? And I say younger people not because it's something that's happening to younger people. It's just that as we are growing up and turning from children into young adults, into elders, somewhere along the line we figure out, okay, I've got some of this stuff handled. I'm not an imposter. This is what people are doing. But as we're stepping into our greatness, a lot of times that can come up. And what do you do to feel at home? What do you do to feel at home within yourself? When that distraction, when that doubt comes along, what is the technique that you can use to make yourself at home within yourself? And one of my favorite things to do is to go into a meditation and remind myself, or be reminded of my gifts and skills and talents, what it is that I'm bringing to the table. Because each of us has a unique combination of gifts and talents and skills and abilities that are innate to us. Sometimes we know exactly what they are. Sometimes we do not know what they are. Sometimes we assume that our gifts and skills and talents are the same ones that everybody else has. And then we get completely surprised when other people cannot do things that we can do. There are some folks who are child prodigies. They can play the piano or play tennis at a masterful level without having to go through all of the usual steps that somebody would have to go through to learn to play chess or tennis or the piano. And they enjoy the gift that they have, and they're kind of surprised that not everybody can do that. So the reminder for you is that there is a combination of gifts and skills and talents and abilities and perspectives and understandings that you have, that you bring to life, that are a mystery to other people. That is a way that you are a gift to the world, because you can bring that and do it so easily and so generously and so joyously that it's just, for you, it's being who you are, and for other people it is a complete gift. So pay attention to that. Be aware of when that's going on. And that, as far as I'm concerned, is the magic of being at home where you are. And the pithy quote that I came up with that I'm going to leave you with is, life is a potluck. Bring the best of yourself and share it. If you've been to a potluck, not everybody brings the same thing. But what comes about is something that is a combination of everybody's gifts, the best of everybody. Life is a potluck. Bring the best of yourself and share it. So it is.